So part of this channel is in the name, it's blueprint, right? And we talk about blueprints and big visions and all of these things in business. But really, a lot of the time, the things that make a business authentic is in the small things, in the things that we can do every day, in the small habits that we create ourselves and our businesses. If you don't know already, my name is Deanna and I am a success strategist. Help you plan, guide, stay accountable to your goals. And today I'm going to talk about habits and tiny habits of that in being authentic to yourself and in your business. Let's fucking go. So if we want to start with finding some small habits that can really hone in on being authentic, the place to start is kind of checking in with yourself. One of the things that I've started doing is in the morning when I get up, it's start by when I wake up, being happy, checking in with myself and saying to myself, it's going to be a fucking amazing day. I don't always swear, but I really, and this is recent for me, but again, this is also my journey. But I really feel like my energy and my positivity has been so much better. And these small habits, I've started journaling in the morning. They are really, really helpful for me. And it also helps me find that authentic self and aligning me towards that goal of becoming that person that I want to be. Because one thing is that my authentic self, is that who I am right now, or is it who I want to be? And what's the journey to going there? And that is about to create those tiny habits so you're authentic along the way as well. And speaking about joy, and if you watch one of my previous videos, I am in the process of reading Fail Fast, Fail Often. And the first chapter, I'm going to make a video on this soon. We're talking about joy and how important this is for success in life as well. So it's really one of the tiny habits to try and implement. Another way I have started of checking in with myself is, and also shifting my mindset again to make my days better and creating these tiny habits that actually help me, is to, when I journal, part of my journaling is writing about how I expect my day to go. So this is something from a book, or actually an audio course by Robin Sharma, about saying, if I visualize the day ahead in my journaling in the morning, then I'm more likely to actually reach those goals. And I can kind of visualize myself being a success, having done that and reached those goals that I set for that day. And this is it takes me maybe 2 minutes, but it's really nice. And then when I write my journal the next day, I can go in and look at, okay, so what did I expect my day to look like? And what did it actually look like? It's a really cool habit. And I know I'm kind of deviating a little bit here, but I actually think this is super important, that, and I'm going to do a whole video on this at some point, but remember that everybody else's journey is not yours. I think let's pull this into the tiny habits. Make it a habit to remember that your journey is your journey and you need to figure out what works for you. So everybody else has amazing ideas, amazing ways to do things. I do things in a different way. Or not necessarily different from you, but I want to share ideas and thoughts with you about how I do it. But I also want to share other people's thoughts and ideas about how they do things. And then my challenge to you is to kind of figure out what works for you. Because the thing is, what works for me as a person might not work for you as a person. And I think that is so incredibly important to remember, because we're different people, right? So I really want you to test the different things out and figure out what's working for you. And also think about this as you go along in life. This becomes big all of a sudden, but what works in one area of your life or in one season of your life might not work in the next. So it's also about changing as you go. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so bringing this a little bit back to the authenticity and being authentic with yourself. When we want to be authentic, it's really hard if you don't know where you are right now. And that's what I talked about a little bit before with who am I now? And who do I want to be? And if I am who I want to be in the future, I'm not 100% authentic right now. There is a lot of advice saying just act like the person you want to be. And I kind of agree with that. But I also don't agree with the fact that I want to be a millionaire, but right now I can't really act like a millionaire because I don't have the funds to do that, right? So what are the incremental steps that I can do to be authentic to who I am now, while at the same time moving my way towards who I want to be and who the future me is? And it's fine to do meditations and do visualizations, putting yourself in the shoes of who you want to be. But just remember, in day-to-day life, the work has to be done to actually get there. When we start with these small habits of like starting our day in a specific way, the idea is also to start being proactive instead of reactive. And when we start by checking our emails, checking our DMs, checking our Instagram, checking our YouTube, I have to say this morning, the first thing I did when I woke up was check my YouTube stats, because I got a notification saying I got new subscribers, and that was freaking amazing in a small channel like this. So it actually ended up starting my day super well, but it was still a reaction and not proactively doing what I had decided to do. So that's the difference, right? So when we design our own morning and when we do these tiny things, and this, again, the check-in in the morning can be 60 seconds, or it can be 60 minutes. If you follow, again, Robin Sharma and his 5 a.m. plus a 60-minute morning routine, it's all up to you what makes sense, and maybe you work your way there. But the idea is that it's a process, and you start with the tiny habits where you are looking to be proactive around what you want to do, and not start out with something where you're reactive towards other people's input. You want to internalize, you want to know how you feel, what's your starting point for the day, and what's your ambition for the day. What is your thought process towards the day to come? Here's a small exercise that you can do that is not a straight after you get up, but it is more of a just before you start working exercise that might help you as well to change the mindset and create a new small habit that can actually be super helpful for you going forward. So we're working with 3 steps: trigger, action, and result. So the trigger is that when you start your day, either grabbing for your phone or grabbing for your laptop or sitting down in front of your computer, that's your trigger. Then your action is take a deep breath and you ask yourself, am I acting today out of inspiration or obligation? And hopefully that is inspiration, most of the time at least, sometimes. And the result will be that you will enter the day and your workspace with the energy of you, of inspiration, of being the CEO in your company and in your life. And again, as solopreneurs, these things matter, that these two things are linked together. When you start these small new habits, sometimes it only takes a week to make a difference. Other times it takes longer. Research shows, and again, this depends on the research. There are multiple different types of research done on this, but what I keep hearing again and again at least is that a habit really takes around 66 days to form. So even tiny habits, set yourself a goal. Let's go for 90 days. Set a goal. Let me know in the comments, what tiny habit do you want to implement in your life, in your business in the next 90 days, so that you can actually move that needle a little bit, just a little bit, towards your authentic self and your authentic business. Because when we have these small habits, we can implement more small habits and more small habits. And then all of a sudden, we've reached that out in the future authentic selves with all of the small incremental changes we've done along the way on the journey. And we have also enjoyed the process to getting there because we've kept focus on being authentically ourselves and hopefully also being happy. I would love to also hear if you have any habits you're already doing that's working super well for you, because maybe you can inspire me. Maybe you can inspire someone else who's watching the video, who's reading the comments. That would be amazing, because part of the community that I want to build here with the book club, with this channel, with all of the things that I'm working with my clients, are all about helping each other out and creating a community where we help each other out and inspire each other. I think that is so super important. Like and subscribe if you like the content. I'm going to do more videos like this. I'm going to do more different kinds of videos. I'm going to do interviews. I'm actively from today going to be looking for people to reach out to interview that could help inspire and help me inspire you, that can help me bring more knowledge to you on topics like authenticity, habits, AI, like anything business related, but also the personal development, the psychology of that into you as a business owner and you as a person, and being happy and authentic. I hope this makes sense for you, and I just have an amazing fucking day. It's going to be great, right?